keeping a close eye on three critical Republican primaries. Come Tuesday of next week, Republicans in Ohio, Indiana, and West Virginia will pick their candidates for Congress. In Ohio, House Ways and Means Committee member Jim Renacci is going up against Republican businessman Mike Gibbons. Republicans looking to flip the Senate seat, currently held by Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown. That'll be a very interesting race, no matter how this turns out. Congressman Renacci is with me now live. And, sir, thank you for your time. And let's give us a state of what's happening in your home state of Ohio. You know, the president won by 8 points in Ohio in 2016. What's your guess about where that comes down today, that vote?
Well, good morning, Bill. And look, as I travel the state, I'm hearing the same thing. The first question everybody asks is, how's the president doing? They love the president here in Ohio. From a Republican standpoint, he's got high approval ratings. But overall, there's some outside polls that show him with 55% approval rating here in Ohio, which is very important as I travel the state. People want to see the state move forward. They see a president who's moving things forward, and they're very happy here in Ohio.
You know, we were watching this West Virginia primary on Tuesday that we broadcast live. Those three candidates were trying to out-Trump each other. Is that what you're doing with your opponent, Mike Gibbons?
Well, actually, there are 5 people in this race, and they all are saying the same thing except one, that they're with Trump, Trump's with them. So it's interesting. Everybody wants Trump to be with them. The president is pretty powerful here. But, of course, everybody knows in Ohio that the president endorsed me last week. He's supportive of me. But it's because I've been supportive of him long, starting even in the Ohio primaries. And he's never forgotten that. And I've been supportive of his agenda. And people realize that. So as I get around the state, they understand who has the president's support.
Yeah. 10 days ago, he sent out this tweet for you on screen. Jim Renacci has worked so hard on tax reductions, illegal immigration, the border, and crime. I badly to help our agenda to keep making America great again. He will be a fantastic senator for the great state of Ohio and has my full endorsement. End tweet there. You've seen that before. I know you're well aware of it. Mike Gibbons is an outsider. You know, he's not from the political class. He's a businessman. And you just wonder in this climate if Republicans favor that at the moment, sir.
Well, look, everybody loves to be an outsider. I'm an outsider, too. I was in business for 30 years. I ran for the office because the federal government took my car dealership in the General Motors bankruptcy. So people see me as an outsider, too. Mike Gibbons and others that are running in this race want to talk about being the outsider. They want to say that I'm the insider, they're the outsider. Look, I'm a business guy. I've been in business. I'm still a CPA. And I'm pretty much bring my 30 years of business experience to Washington. I know that's what the president likes, and I also know that's what the people like. And I do have now a couple years in the House to understand how Washington is broken to get a head start on it in the Senate.
Well, if you win on Tuesday, you're going to go up against Sherrod Brown. I know you would characterize him as a liberal Democrat. But he seems to have stabilized in his numbers over the past 2 years, I would say 18 months. Why do you think that is?
Well, look, people in Ohio don't realize that he votes very much as he's one of the 3 most liberal senators in the country. He votes with Elizabeth Warren. I think people need to see that. They don't realize it. He's a nice guy. I've gotten to know Sherrod over the years because I've had to fly back and forth with him. Nice guy, bad policies, bad votes. That's what I'm going to be saying about him. In the end, we're going to have to talk about our differences. I'm a business guy. I've created over 1,500 jobs. The only job he's created is the one he's been elected to. He continues to be elected, been around for 44 years. I've been around for 7, but those 7 years were prior to that was 30 years in the business world. Big differences.
Yeah,
I've employed 3,000 people.
Yeah, we're going to reach out to him and get him on as well before Tuesday. I know your name is not great downstate, let's say, in southwestern Ohio because you're from the Northeast. So, you know, it could be very interesting how you're able to work that, you know, come the general election. Just advance to one last point here. How do you handicap the stakes on the Republicans holding the House in November?
Oh, I believe the Republicans will hold the House. Look, there's no reason why we shouldn't. We're getting a lot of things done with the tax bill. I think in the end, people are going to look and say we need to continue to push the president's agenda forward. They don't want Nancy Pelosi as Speaker. They want to make sure the agenda continues forward. The House is moving bills. The Senate's not. Over 500 bills were sent to the Senate. 400 of those, over 400 are just sitting there. So I think in the end, people are going to realize that the House is moving things. The Senate's where these bills go to die, and that's the place we need to change. Would you
admit that you've got some headwinds coming in November? Would you admit that?
Well, look, I'm not sure because as a business guy, sometimes you got headwinds, sometimes you got tailwinds. I'm also a pilot. Some days you got headwinds, some days you got tailwinds.
Great answer.
You just
Okay.
take what you got.
Thank you, sir. Jim Renacci going up against Mike Gibbons on Tuesday. Thank you for your time today.